Hey, what's up YouTube? Duelist Talonite here. I'm doing a deck profile of my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, which most people at my locals know it as a look in the past, yet strangely in the present as well. Um, Little backstory on this deck. This is the deck I started out with when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It was a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. I've been working on it for 2 or 3 years now, I think, because even though I didn't really start playing the game until last year, I've been collecting and following the rules since um, like 2012. So, yeah, let's get started. Okay, this deck runs quite a few Pendulum monsters. Main one it runs is the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is really one of my favorite cards in this deck for the reason that it does double damage if it attacks an opponent's monster. And also at the end of my turn, if it's in the Pendulum zone, I can destroy it to add a Pendulum with 1500 or less attack to my hand. So it's highly helpful in that part. I run 2 Time Gazer and 2 Stargazer. Just gotta finish it. Pretty much just had to finish the set because I run Odd Eyes, so why not run these guys as well? I mean, they work really well with Odd Eyes, and this deck gets out Odd Eyes pretty quickly, so it helps out quite a bit. Run 1 Dragoons of Draconia. Like I said, this is a Pendulum heavy deck. This one is a scale of 2. This is actually the one I got from the pre-release. The one that comes in the actual Secrets of Eternity set is rare. This one's an ulti, so I'm pretty sure that's ultimate rare. Once per turn, if a normal monster I control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, I can add 1 level 4 or higher normal monster from my deck to my hand. So, like Blue Eyes White Dragon, I could add to my hand. I run 1 Dragonhorn Hunter. I almost said Dragoons of Draconia again. My bad. This one, all normal monsters I control gain 200 attack, and I take no battle damage from battles involving normal monsters I control. So, yeah. Lance of Ferenkus, another Pendulum that's a normal monster. This one's a dinosaur compared to my others that are Beast Warrior, Warrior, Spellcasters, and Dragons. This one, if a normal monster I control attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to my opponent. This has won me almost every single match I've been in with this deck. This deck actually did pretty decent at locals a few months back. For my normal monsters, only normal monsters I run 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. Original art, I like it a lot better than any other art I've seen aside from the Shonen Jump editions and all those. But this one's kind of self-explanatory because of the deck. My effect monsters, I run 3 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Self-explanatory for this deck because if it's attacked or targeted by something, I can bring out a Blue Eyes from my hand, deck, or grave. Wish they would make it for Banished as well because of Bottomless Trap Hole being out there. But they're probably not going to do that reprint. 1 Dark Magician Girl. I run Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight in my extra deck because this deck is based solidly on fusion summons for the most part. It has a few synchros, but it doesn't have any XYZs at all. Yeah. Then I run 1 King of the Swamp. Acts as a fusion material for one that specifies fusion monsters. Well, names of fusion materials. And I can also discard this from my hand to add a poly from my deck to my hand. I run 1 Gagaga Magician. Strictly because I need to get out my shooting Quasar sometimes, and this will help me do it. Exploder Dragon. If it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy the monster that destroyed this card. Neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. Or, well, actually, just this card when it attacks, my bad. Run 1 Maneater Bug, mainly for the flip effect. Select and destroy one monster on the field, can be either side, so target Maiden. Even though Maiden's destroyed, bring out a Blue Eyes. Card D, you need draw power with this deck sometimes. This is it. If you have defenses on the field, just summon this, activate the effect, and end your turn. Because it draws 2 cards and then ends your turn, pretty much. 1 Black Dragon dadgummit, Collapserpent. My bad. This deck runs a lot of light attributes, so I can get this out quite easily when I get it in my hand. Run 1 Shocktopus strictly for the effect. If it is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster and sent to the graveyard, I can equip this card to that opponent's monster. That monster's attack becomes 0, and it cannot change its battle position, so it's pretty much a sitting duck. And then last for my effect monsters in my main deck, I run 2 Shining Angel. When it's destroyed by battle, I can bring out a Maiden or any other light attribute in my deck, and yeah, brings it out in attack, so I normally go for Maiden. I run 4 Ritual monsters in this deck. I run 3 Blackluster Soldier. One of them is a dual terminal. This one right here. This deck gets out my Dragon Master Knight quite easily, which is the whole reason why I run these. So, yeah. 3,000 attack Ritual monster, not that bad. 1 Paladin of White Dragon in my main deck. When I can tribute it to bring out a Blue Eyes, but Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack that turn. That's it for the monsters. Now for the spells. I run 3 Blackluster Rituals. This one right here is also a dual terminal. Self-explanatory considering I run Blackluster Soldier. I run 1 Advanced Ritual Art. It can be used to ritual summon any one ritual monster, but I also must send normal monsters from my deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal the level of that ritual monster. So, have to send Blue Eyes for any of my cards pretty much, unless I have a Pendulum. White Dragon Ritual, self-explanatory. It's for Paladin. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. I don't really see a point in running 3 with this deck. This deck pretty much is... It stops back row for the most part, and if someone does use, like, Mirror Force or something, it's fine with me because I can immediately bring out other cards if I need to. Ego Boost, mainly for Maiden, gains 1,000 when it's in the when I'm in the battle phase, and it targets so I can bring out a Blue Eyes. 2 Fusion Recoveries. Like I said, this is a strictly fusion deck, so yeah. Axe of Despair. All equip spells target, so equip this to Maiden, bring out a Blue Eyes. Silver's Cry, bring back a Blue Eyes from the grave. Flash Fusion and Polymerization. I'm using all my other polymerizations at the moment, so I only have these in here, but these are my more helpful. This is what you want to run in this deck because of all the fusions it has. Pretty much. I only run 1 trap, Sakuretsu Armor. I don't need traps that much in this deck. Otherwise, I can't play my spells because most people don't want to attack my Blue Eyes deck when I have like Dragon Master Knight or something out on the field. So yeah. For my extra deck, I run 2 Dragon Master Knight, which is highly helpful because Dragon Master Knight pretty much gains 500 attack for each face-up dragon type monster I control except for itself. So if I have 2 on the field, they gain 500 for the other Dragon Master Knight that's on the field. So, highly helpful in that spot. 2 Blue Eyes Ultimate. I thought about running 3. I used to run 3, but I don't anymore. This deck does get these out pretty easily, though, mainly because of all the Blue Eyes I have. So, yeah. 1 Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I explained it earlier, this deck is for fusions, and I can get this one out pretty easily. First of the dragons. Requires 2 normal monsters, must be fusion summoned, and cannot be special summoned by other ways, so Call of the Haunted won't bring it back if I were to run one in this deck. I can only control one face up first of the dragons, which is why this deck only runs one. And it cannot be destroyed by battle except by battle with a normal monster, and is unaffected by other monster effects, so Judgment Dragon would not affect this, or any monster effect that would target it or something. It's unaffected. Triver won't even work against it, which sucks when I'm going against this deck and my opponent gets that out. But then again, I can have out Diamond and then stop that effect. Who knows? 5-headed dragon, self-explanatory for this deck. Runs multiple dragon types, so. Runized Pendulum, I can get it out quite easily. So yeah. 1 shooting Quasar, like I said, this deck can get it out quite easily. I've only managed to get this card out 3 times because my opponents keep on BTHing it, so yeah. I've been able to summon it more than 3 times, but my opponents keep bottomless trap pulling it. Then I run 1 Formula Synchron. It's a Synchro monster that's also a tuner, which is required for Quasar. Azure Eyes Silver, bring a Blue Eyes back from the grave. Black Rose for those times when you really need it. Pretty much. That's it for my extra deck. For my side deck, I run 2 Blue Eyes Shinings. I used to run 3. I used to be main decking all of these, actually, but I changed my mind. Have 1 card Cardi. Same effect it had, same reason I had for it earlier. My 3rd Shining Angel, sometimes I need this, sometimes I don't. Same with Paladin of White Dragon, sometimes I need it, sometimes I don't. White Dragon Ritual, self-explanatory. Pendulum Shift, I used to have one in my main deck, someone stole it, so I need to put this one in my main deck. So this is actually a main deck card, not a side deck. But target 1 card in either player's pendulum zone and declare a pendulum scale from 1 to 10 this turn. That card becomes that pendulum scale. Helpful. Against Light Sworns and stuff, this card's also really helpful. Your opponent draws into a JD, activate this, discard it. Highly helpful. So, yeah, that is my Blue Eyes deck. I hope you guys like it, and I hope to see you guys at tournaments soon, for those of you that live in Oklahoma. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Kirby's World in Guthrie, Oklahoma. They are where I've been getting most of my support cards for my Shaddolls and stuff. So yeah, have fun dueling, guys.